That was really close. My goodness. Deer just ran in front of my target. That happens, I'm gonna say that happens almost every single time I'm here. That was like a foot away. Not from my target, but a little closer. And obviously the field of view, this 1 to 6 is pretty good, but wow, that guy almost got smoked. All right, I'm gonna finish this group. Not too bad. All right, let's talk about this optic. All right, so I have some inclement weather coming in here, so I'll try to be quick today. The bugs are wonderful as usual. Minnesota's got terrible flies, terrible mosquitoes. If you've never been here before, don't come during the summer. Anyways, so this is the medium height profile. And this is with it risen up as much as it's gonna go. And so it's tall enough to get me up on the mag and almost make it like a monopod on the magazine there. I shoot 20 rounders out of it most of the time, but today I'm shooting out of a 30 rounder, and so that's about how high it's going to get you. You can look up online, they have all the heights. There's 3 levels, I believe, for these. And so the whole big advantage of these is that they have forward and rear cant, as well as side to side cant. And maybe I should show you closer up of that, give you a better idea. But it has every angle of cant. Here's the problem with it real quick, and I'm just gonna jump to it. If you max it out in a direction like this, if I go all the way forward and I load that bipod, I can't really use the side to side cant. Suddenly it becomes worthless. So I end up resorting to leg height to get it in the right way. So that's really inconvenient, because the whole idea of having cant isn't just forward and rear loading the bipod. That's probably the least useful. What I want is side to side. And so I kind of found a way to make it work. I don't load my bipods as hard as I used to, and it kind of changed my shooting style a little bit, point of impact and those kind of things. If you've done a little bit longer range or medium range shooting, you know what I mean. So it's changed some factors in there, and I use this. Sorry, I'm not far from a highway. I use this bipod exclusively, and here it is on my Savage 12FV. Same height, I just don't have the legs extended down. And this whole setup, and it was a deal to get used to it, because again, there's not a lot of side-to-side play unless you ease up on loading that bipod a little, just a tad. Then you have more room to work with it. And I like it. The feet are grippy on hard surfaces. They don't jump too hard. It's not like an aluminum bottom on it. It's rubber. And the adjustability is basically one hand. One of the features I like about it, I'll give you a close-up for this real quick. Okay, I'll use the AR for this one. So you can see if I was presenting it to the target like this and I loaded the bipod, it kind of straightens it out a little bit. And depending on the surface you're on, that may or may not be level. Just loading it that way, the ground is most likely not level. And so then I end up doing one of these deals where I adjust the leg down a little bit, tighten it down just to get it square, which was kind of the whole purpose of having cant in here, so it's almost self-defeating. They are relatively quick if you want to get them down to a real low height. I don't know why you would have it this low ever. That's like really, really low. And then basically getting them down. They're not spring-loaded, so you're going to have to get the rifle out of the way and pull them. It's not real hard, though. You can lock them down at individual heights. And then just to show you how this functions, there are different slots here that it's just going to lock into. So you can put it all the way up. You could put it all the way to the reverse if you want to keep it back here for some reason. And then if you want to bring the bipod down quite a bit, I shoot this way. I guess I've used this quite a bit with my 22 rifle shooting down hills, but usually it ends up looking more like this. And these feet dig in pretty well. I've had some good luck with them. They haven't burnt out yet. I've had them for about a year now. And like I said, this is the bipod that I choose to use with all my rifles. Let me grab my Savage. Everything's all wet anyways. I might as well just shoot in the rain. Just gonna take some cheapy ammo and see how this groups real quick, but you'll get to see a little bit of the bipod and how it functions for me. In case you're curious, this Savage 12 FV is winning me over hardcore. It's doing amazing. And I've had a learning curve, especially with this internal magazine. I don't love it. But rifle, jeez, shoots really tight. I'm gonna have to show you some groups later if I can get the witness with me so you'll believe it. So I'm shooting at 200 yards, and I know it's kind of point blank and stuff, but for me, that's still where I'm at, as I can still improve my 200-yard game just fine. When I start out, I usually start out with no load. I get down a little bit, I push forward and load that bipod. I'm checking my reticle, making sure everything looks relatively good. I go to my parallax. And illumination, which is really nice about this scope. I got to get around to reviewing the scope too. Probably good to check that every once in a while. Things change with temperature. So now I'm pretty much loaded as much as I'm going to be into that bipod. So the little wobble that I'm doing, if you've never seen that before, that's just checking your parallax, making sure the image isn't moving too much, or your reticle isn't moving too much off the crosshairs, or off the target, I can speak. It's interesting, this American Eagle will shoot sporadically well. Like I'll shoot 5 rounds here of this American Eagle, do okay, maybe shoot an MOA size group, and then I'll go to Perfecta and I'll shoot a half MOA group, and then I might do one more 5-round group and get like a half-inch group. And it's just, I don't know. It's really unpredictable. It's predictable that it's unpredictable ammo. Just like that. One really bad flyer, and then 3 stacked on top of each other. Jeez, I don't get it. This ammo will shoot really tight sometimes, and then there's just like wild inconsistencies. And the brass looks like crap, by the way. American Eagle ammo isn't known for being amazing. It's like machine gun looking ammo, but anyways, back to the bipod. So you can kind of see here, take these out. Hopefully I don't get hit by lightning out here. That'd be less cool. So hopefully you can see there, I'm loaded into some sand and grass kind of material here. And it does bounce a little bit, but it absorbs, the ground absorbs a good amount. This is a nice spot to shoot actually. And the bipod is sturdy enough. There's not a lot of extra flex. I mean, it is made out of aluminum. The bipod mount is Picatinny in there, so there's not a lot of extra movement capability for those parts. But when it comes to staying level and staying true, I worked at it a little bit because I'm digging holes with these bipods right now into the ground. And I definitely was working at it a little bit to keep it level. And it's that much more difficult because I'm loading the bipod, and then I don't have as much side-to-side movement. But then if I back off a little bit, I mean, look how much I have now. If I just back off a little bit. And so it's always a thing I'm playing around with. I guess to give you a summation of what's going on here, I'm gonna use these as long as I have to, but I'm gonna sell one off, save up a little money, and I'm gonna buy that new Magpul bipod and give that a try. And I think I'll know pretty quickly whether it's better or not. If it's better, all of them are gone, and I will switch to the Magpul because the price is gonna be super good for those. Okay. I'll take a few more rounds on some steel here and just show you from some other surfaces like wood. I'll shoot off a wood table here in a second, and you can see there's some good hop, but there's enough rigidity there, enough usability that I can still hit my targets just fine. And I'm shooting a 4-inch target at 250 is probably what I'll do for you here next. All right, got a little 4-incher out there, which is probably huge to some of you, but this is 250 yards, 4-inch target. On the swing. Nice. I'll give you a couple closer ups while I'm shooting here. All right, swinging. Actually, that was a miss. That was swinging, but it'll give you an idea of how that bipod works. How much I'm loading it, how much I'm backing off so I can still get some minimal cant in there. All right, I'll throw a couple out there with the 1-6 here on the primary arms. Optic. It's a little tricky at in-between distances like 250. I am shooting the right ammo. I'm shooting 62 grain penetrator, but it doesn't have a precise location, and so I'm going to shoot at the bigger target. There's a 6-inch target down there at 250. I can't use an exact spot in the post. In fact, it's a dead air space. There's no reticle in this area. It's right between the 200 and 300 yard mark, and that's just awkward. I don't know why there isn't anything there, actually. It does help with that 200 yard chevron point because the tip of the chevron is 100. The bottom part is 200. And just below that you know, maybe halfway through, I would assume, is 250, but it kind of floats, so we'll see what we get. I got lots of excuses. None of them are good. There's impact. Impact. I'm hitting a little to the right because I'm not keeping it level. So here's probably a good example of something I should show you, is because I'm shooting at a little bit of an angle and it's just loaded a little funny, it's not helping me keep the reticle level. So it's like fundamentally that's a problem. I'm watching my level bounce around here a little too much as I'm trying to load it properly, and I just don't appreciate that very much. So there's a whole lot of missing, but that's real life. I'm not gonna edit that out because that's kind of what happens, man. I'll have days where I shoot off the ground and do really well, and I'll start shooting off of cement surfaces or like these wooden reels that you use in 3-gun competitions, stuff like that, and it just makes it a little awkward. You know, you're 200 yards and in, it's not that bad, but past the 200 yards, I do find it kind of hard. Just not being able to keep it exactly level each time because of the fact that you can't load it the right way. It's just not great. You have to put a little too much thinking into each thought, or each shot, I should say. Thinking into each thought. You have to put a little too much thinking into each trigger pull, each shot, and I don't like that. I want it to be pretty simple. I want it to be natural. I want to be able to just throw that thing on the ground and load it like kind of like the Harris bipods and things like that, which I've had. It's a neat idea. So UTG, if you're listening, it's a neat idea. It misses the mark though. I've tried it out for a year. I bought 4 of them, sold one, and I've had each height of the bipods. And so far, the biggest feature issue here is definitely your tightening screw in here. They strip out really easy. And then also the fact that once you load it forward, there's not much for side to side, and that defeats the purpose of having a bipod with cant. So UTG 360, a really, really great, like mediocre entry-level kind of bipod. It's better than everything else that's under $60 that I know of, but it's not better than the things that are above. You know, you get you a used Harris or something, I think it's better. Or better yet, check out that new Magpul one. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. That's all I have for you guys. Gun-toting Minnesotan. Thanks for checking in and subscribing, liking, sharing, whatever you're going to do. I keep getting these warning strikes and stuff like that on content, and I know I'm still here. I thought I'd be gone by now for sure, but there are folks who are getting hit. You know, Brownells got hit a while ago. So we'll see how much longer this keeps going. I'm going to keep doing it because it's fun, and I just want to promote kind of the gun culture thing, and people who are intelligent, who are into this stuff. We need more of that on YouTube. People who are relatable and sociable and not jerks about this sort of thing could use more of that. So if you're one of those people, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. So one thing I've changed my mind about quite a bit is lighted reticles. I used to really not care at all, and you know, hunting and stuff like that, I knew there would be an advantage there, but I just didn't care that much. And over the years, as I've started shooting more, and I've got a good shot count this year already started, I'm noticing when I shoot at dusk and on cloudy days, the storm's rolling in right now, the lighted reticle really makes a difference, especially in this little 1-6 with the chevron tip. If you're shooting against black targets or dark targets, good luck trying to hold tight and focus hard on that reticle, especially if your eyes aren't great. Mine are not great. I really notice that this primary arms, for such a cheap optic, man, the illumination is great and it does really well out at distance. You got a small black target. I'm just shooting at 200 yards right now, but when you have a small black target and you have that black reticle, it's just difficult. So I really have changed my mind about lighted reticles. I think it's a big difference. If you don't have any with a lighted reticle, I would suggest going for it. I think it makes a big difference in my my group size, actually. Helps me focus on the reticle. Not bad. Probably about a 3-inch group at 200, so that's not as small as I would want by any means, but it could be worse. I'm shooting Independence 55 grain, which is not, it's not the best ammo that I found for this rifle. Lighted reticles, you should try one out. Shot the stupid target down. All I have left is a 4-incher. It's really hard to see, actually, because it's dark. But I'll go for it, see if I can finish this off. Hey, actually, yeah, all right, isn't too bad. One more for fun. As a miss. Okay. Just wanted to get my 3 in a row. It was bothering me. And now I have to go pick all this crap up.